The next topic we'll cover here is a review of x and y intercepts. So if you start with the first definition here, intercepts are the points at which the graph intersects or touches the x or y axis. And then they can be written as certain ordered pairs. So your x-intercept can be written as the ordered pair A and then 0. Another way that you might be more used to seeing it, this is the notation that our textbook uses, but that's the same thing as saying whatever the x value is and then 0. So interchangeable, right? The variable that's here, it doesn't matter what it is because we know in an ordered pair, the order is x and then y. So regardless, in the x-intercept, the y value is always 0. And then the opposite is true if you look at your y-intercept. So for a y-intercept here, it can be written as the ordered pair 0b, or just like before, we could also write that as 0y. And again, here the x value is always 0. So those are our x and y intercepts in terms of ordered pairs. There will always be a 0 in there. And then when you see different graphs, it's possible for graphs to have different scenarios. So there could be no intercepts at all. You could have one or you could have several. So there's some examples down here below. And I'm going to actually start on the right side here, which is not quite normal. But here's an example where you don't have any intercepts. This circle does not touch the x-axis and it does not touch the y-axis. So there's no real numbers for us to use there. Here in this graph, kind of a sideways parabola there, we have one x-intercept and it intercepts the y-axis twice. Here we have three x-intercepts, 1, 2, 3, and one y-intercept because the origin is considered an x-intercept and a y-intercept. And here we have a parabola that's raised above the x-axis, so there's no points crossing the x-axis, but there is a point crossing the y-axis. So just different scenarios depending on the graph and the information that you're given for x and y intercepts. And there's multiple ways to find them. Oh, a little typo here. This should say x to the third power, not x3. It should be x to the third power. So there's a graph of x to the third power, and it's just asking us to identify from the picture. So if you're given a picture, finding x and y intercepts are super simple. If we zoom in here, we can see on the x-axis that our graph crosses at the point -1, 0. And on the y-axis, we cross at the point here, which is +1, but be careful how you name it because their x value has to come first. So this is 0 and then +1 for the y-intercept.